you can take bad advice, you can turn that into good advice. If you think it's bad advice, just go do the opposite. So that's what I did with the advice from the coaching company.
You did the opposite of everything he said, or just certain things?
Almost
was there any good? Almost everything.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that shit.
Welcome to Downshift with my sis, Tanika Haynes. We all know as shop owners, sometimes you got to slow down in order to speed up. And that's what this podcast is all about. It's time to downshift.
You got your hair together?
Well, it's not as good as I wanted, but it'll work.
What products do we use on the hair, Zeb?
I use, what's it called? It's a 10. I use it's a 10 most of the time.
You think they'll sponsor you?
They should.
They should.
Because I do have the best hair.
Me too. I cut it all off.
You do?
I never know what the hell to do with my hair.
Yeah.
So
look, you can do the short look though.
I like the short hair. Yeah. But it's like you do have to do it more.
Not every woman can get away with it, but you can do it.
I appreciate that. What are you sipping on?
Oh, that's my normal my Freak Show that I always drink.
Freak Show. I'll have to get some of that.
Freak Show Cabernet. It's not the most expensive, but it's my favorite. I've drank expensive wine and I've drank cheap wine, but that's pretty much my favorite out of all of them.
Well, you know what? I love wine, but I've started to love, daggone it. I can't even think of the name of it. It's really bubbly. Crap. Brain freeze. It's 8:00. I'm supposed to be asleep. But yeah, it gets me where I want to go too quick. I'm going to have like one glass of it. Yeah, of course, I can't think of it right now.
I can't see. I got my glasses with me.
Speaking of glasses,
yes.
Who gave you MetaShades?
Susie. Which I've been wanting them. I seen Chris Enright wearing them at ASTA, and I said, man, I think I want some of those. How are they? He said, man, I love them. So
I saw Birdie wearing them. I want some.
Oh, I love them. I use them all the time.
Yeah, I like how you did the tour with them on. That was cool. Of the shop.
They don't the perspective further out. They don't do well with that. They need a zoom feature where you could zoom just a little bit.
Right.
Because if it's not something that's happening within 7 or 8 feet of you, it washes out and you can't see it real good. That's the only thing.
It's only 3 minutes.
Yeah, they'll only do 3 minutes at a time. That's a pain in the ass too.
Oh well, you can piece it all together, right? Because that's what you did with the shop. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I took and put it together. Actually, I think I edited that one on TikTok. I think, but sometimes I'll do it with iMovie. I'll edit with iMovie.
I don't have the patience. I just start putting my kids to work and letting them do this crap.
It's fun. I enjoy it. I'm not the best.
No, they're funny as hell, especially when Susie had her own Google.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that around
woman.
Here, it's every day she says something like that. So I should have been putting these in recordings for years because she says something funny like that every day.
Yeah, Susie said her Google's different. I was like, okay.
Yeah, she says it's different. We've been into it over that several times.
I'm
the oldest one in this shop, and I'm the one that has to show everybody how to use Google.
Really? 46, 45, you said?
47.
47. Are you ready for the big 5-0?
No.
Right.
I dreaded 30. Now, I was ready for 20. You know how 20 is. You're always ready for 20.
Yeah, right.
You want to be 20.
20, 21, 25, and that's it.
Then 30, I dreaded it until it got here, and then it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
And then 40, I didn't even get upset. I thought 40 was going to be the big one. But it really wasn't that big a deal. But 50, yeah, I dread that one. I don't want to be 50. I don't ever want to be 50.
Don't say that. I got one more year. I've got 320 something days.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be great. I just don't want to be 50. I don't want to say I'm 50 years old. I'm
actually going to be proud that I'm 50 years old because I look at these chicks around here and they're like, oh, I'm 40. I'm like, shit, you need some water. Like, I'm just 40. You need some moisturizer, lady. Like, what the hell?
You need some work. Yeah.
Yeah, you need some work. So I think I'm going to be proud.
I do still look pretty young for my age. I think I got a little bit of gray coming in my beard now, a little bit. So that's the only thing. I got a few little grays coming in here, right
Yeah.
in this area. But I don't mind it going gray. I want it to go white. I just want it to go white all at once.
So, did your parents have all gray?
My dad, his hair was black up until he had some salt and pepper in it up till the day he died. Now he died. He was in his 60s, early
Yeah.
60s when he died. Now my mama's still alive. She's 70. I think she's right about 7. Yeah, she's 70.
Hmm.
Um, and she's got gray, but she gets it dyed. So I don't really know how much gray she has. But she was blonde. She was natural blonde.
Hmm.
But my grandpa, his went white overnight. It turned white. So I'm hoping mine does the same thing.
There's Ash.
Hi.
Hi. We're talking about gray hair, shampoo, and wine.
Okay, well, I can join in on this one.
Yay, we're all together.
Yeah, what kind of wine you drinking there?
This bottle that I'm obsessed with right now, it's called Prototype. I honestly bought it because I love lead sleds. So, but it's really good. So I've bought it a few times now.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give that a try.
Yeah,
Like
I've
Zeb
been
drinks the
curious
same thing.
about that bottle that you're always posting about, Freak Show. Is it local to you?
No, it's from Lodi, California. I get it at Sam's. If you got a Sam's, check there. But you can get it at the liquor store.
Freak Show.
Yeah, Freak Show
Yeah.
Cabernet.
So
I'll
here's
try
the
it.
thing. The ABC store in the Carolinas only sells liquor. No beer, no wine. It's only liquor.
Only hard liquor.
Only hard liquor. No beer, no wine.
Really
Just
hard
hard liquor.
guy. I like it, but it gives me hella hangovers.
Yeah.
So
Give me some vodka.
I'll hit it a little bit, but if I do too much, I'll be down with a hangover.
Right. All right, so we're starting. I'm already recording, Ash, because why not?
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, Saints and Aints. Welcome to the party. It's Tanika, got Zeb, Ash. We're here to sit here and lie about a lot of stuff.
Oh, what?
So, yeah. So, Zeb, I think you know that you remind me so much of my dad. Not saying that you're old because you don't want to be 50. My dad's old.
No, that's flattering.
But it's like
that means
the
a
big
lot to me.
dreams. Like, I know I heard you say that you had been dreaming about where you are now since you were 10 years old.
Yep, that's correct.
So my dad says, you know what? He talks about, everybody has dreams, but nobody wants to wake up and go to work. And I can hear you probably would say some stuff like that.
Yep, that's right.
So you've been doing this since you were 10. Then you were playing baseball. Baseball didn't work out.
Right.
Something like that. And then you start working at the Junkyard.
Yep.
Tell us the whole story. Well, give us the Cliff Notes version because I know a lot of people have heard it, but everybody don't know how cool you are.
Cliff Notes. Let me see if I can put this in Cliff Notes. But the way I got started, I always knew that I was going to be something big. I just knew it.
You have to. Your name is Zeb.
That's right.
Your mom named you an amazing name.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think, and actually thinking about it after I posted that, when you asked me that, I think my dad actually had a big part in that.
Yeah.
But they worked together. My mom and dad worked together on that name. But yeah, since I was really small, I knew and wanted to be something big. I wanted to be famous for doing whatever it is that I did. I really didn't know exactly what it was up until when I turned 14 and I got that job in that junkyard. That's when I knew it was going to be automotive. I knew it was going to be automotive. I didn't know how I was going to become famous at automotive because we didn't have, back then, this is in the early 90s, we didn't have YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. But I said, I want to be a celebrity and own a shop. That's what I want to do. So I set out right then to do it. I just worked every chance I got. I didn't really go out and party and do the stuff that normal teenagers do. I did a little bit, but mostly I just went to work. I worked Saturdays, Sundays, People would hire me to come by their house and work on their cars. I'd go wash chicken. One of the jobs I would get, I'd wash chicken houses, wash the inside of the chicken houses. Anything I could find somebody to pay me to do, I would do.
Hustle man.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
So
You sound like people don't have that hustle in them anymore. Everybody wants to be famous on the internet, but they don't want to actually do anything. They just want to make a lot of reels and TikToks, but there's no work behind it. But
yeah,
we see you working every day. Like your hands prove that you are still working.
yeah, I just got off the road grader. I worked all day today. We had that big ice storm, so the state of Arkansas hires me to come blade the snow and the ice off the roads whenever these big snowstorms come around.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been on
That's
that
what's
road
up.
grader all day. That's the reason I can't see very good. My eyes are turned wrong side out from staring at that blade and watching that snow come off and ice come off that blade. So that's probably the reason it looks like I've probably been smoking something, but I haven't.
You don't. No, you do not look like you've been smoking anything.
Now you stare at snow for long enough and you go a little bit blind.
Oh,
Blind, yeah. Too bright.
And my eyes are getting wore out, so and I need glasses. I'm supposed to have an eye appointment coming up.
They told me I needed readers, man. I got to get readers.
I need readers, but I think I need them all the time.
You know, I was at 19, they told me I had early onset glaucoma. And every time I go to the eye doctor, they say it's getting a little worse.
So do you smoke?
Hey, it's legal here.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Where are you located?
Arizona.
That's right. I knew that. I did know
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. Well,
So
I'm excited to get to know you more, Zeb. We met briefly at ASTA, and I watched you get thrown around. That was hilarious. But then today, like, just naturally, for some reason, you popped on my feed. You posted something on Facebook about a coach that you had that basically told you to dream a little bit smaller. And your response, I was like, oh, we're a lot more alike than I thought.
Isn't he? He's a mess.
No, but that's
good.
I
mean, that's good because when Zeb talks, I laugh because I can hear my father. Like everyone's like I think I'm flashing. Like you have no idea. That man is something else. But like a lot of stuff, people think he's being funny. I don't think you're being funny. He's just being blunt and he's being real. Like I can't imagine how many people listen to you and how much impact you have on other shop owners. Did you expect that? When you said you wanted to be famous, like, did you want to be that kind of famous?
I wanted to. I didn't know how I would ever get there. And it all came together and I was able to do it. But yeah, I know I probably get a reputation from some people as being mean on the internet, but I do help a lot of other shop owners. I talk to other shop owners all day. I give them my advice. Now, my advice, it may be like the advice I got from the coach. You can listen to it, and then you may want to go do the opposite. So you can take bad advice. You can turn that into good advice. If you think it's bad advice, just go do the opposite. So that's what I did with the advice from the coaching company.
You did the opposite of everything he said, or just certain things?
Almost
like, was there any good? Almost everything.
Yeah,
I ain't doing that shit.
That's where I'm like, I talk about, I have a passion for teaching people and training people to do things that have worked really well for me. But I'm like, that's where I wouldn't work as a coach because I'm the opposite of that coach you had. I'm like, no, dream bigger. Oh, you want to make $1 million? Let's make 10. And people aren't ready for that. Or people don't have as big of dreams for themselves that you could see in somebody else. And that's hard. Like when you see more in somebody than they see in themselves, you're just like, come on.
Right.
Well, their ideas would work, and they're good ideas, but they wouldn't work for me. I mean, if you were a shop that you were struggling to pay your bills, if you were having trouble and you didn't know what to do or where to go, yeah, they could help you. But for somebody like me I had already been through all that. I had already been at my last dollar many times. I mean, I wrote hot checks. I never got caught with any of them, but I'd write a check that wasn't no good, and then I have to go make the money to get in the bank to beat the money.
That's when checks
to the bank.
I remember checks used to take 3 to 4 days to clear. Now they're
Yep.
just clear in 24
I
hours, so you
did. I
can't do
did.
that no more.
I did all that stuff, so I know what it's like. But
Right.
I didn't hire them until I had came through all that, and I was already going good. I said, hey, this coaching thing? Everybody keeps telling me about this coaching thing. Now that I can afford it, I'm gonna try it. And they couldn't help me. They wanted to change. They wanted to change everything about me into something else, and
Cookie
I
cutter
don't do
stuff.
that. Yeah, I didn't want to be a tire and lube shop. That's never
Yeah.
what I. That's never what I dreamed about being. So.
But you still track like your KPIs. There's still numbers and stuff that you track, or is that
Oh
Susie's
yeah,
job?
I'm a numbers guy. I used to work
Yeah.
before we got Techmetric. I would wear Susie out because I'd go in the office. I'd say, "Hey, figure this number for me. Tell me how many of these we did, what we profited on." Every day, I'd come up with some shit like that.
Mm.
And she got tired. She got tired of it. Then when we got Techmetric, I got all my reports at my fingertips. So I come in here. I don't know. Every other day, I'll come up with some number I want to look at, and I can find it on Techmetric and look at it.
I love
So
that.
we talked about with Jeff yesterday. We were laughing about spouses and husbands working together, and he thinks it's an absolutely terrible idea for the wife or the daughter to be at the front counter. But apparently, that's working with you and Susie. Has she always worked at the shop with you?
Well, it came about slowly. When I first
Mm.
opened, she would come in about once a week and work on the books and make get the deposit ready and all that because I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know how to pay bills. I don't know how. I've never paid a light bill. I've never paid a gas bill. I've never made. I say that I made a few truck payments before Susie came along, and that's when I would drive to the bank and hand them the money. I didn't know how to send it or
Right.
anything like that. I made all my payments by hand. So she does all that for me. So she would come in about once a week and do that. And then it slowly got to be more and more and more and more. And then I guess when my kids got pretty well grown, I won't say when they graduated school, but when they were in their late teens, where they didn't have her go pick them up from school and stuff like that. That's when she started working at the shop full time. And in those
Has she
days,
ever had coaching?
has she
Like,
ever
did
had
she have
coach?
to be coach for the front desk stuff,
Yeah,
or is it just
I had to show her how to do it.
you
She's
were the
watched.
coach?
Yeah, she's watched me work my magic enough times that she learned from me.
Okay, that's what's up.
But she learned. Now I'm gonna say Techmetric. She learned that by herself. She never had anybody show her Techmetric. She learned how to do that. I taught her how to do estimates, but she's gotten so good at it now that I don't have to show her anything. She can, like, if we say, hey, this truck needs head gaskets, whatever. If it's one we haven't done before, she can go in and she can look up all the parts. She say, okay, if this need head gaskets, well, it's going to need head bolts. It's going to need intake gaskets. It's going to need all these little gaskets. She can put all that together. She's gotten really
Oh,
good at it.
it does work.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
wouldn't. I wouldn't have anybody else do it. Even if we got divorced. If we got divorced, she would still have to come run that front office every day.
I would love to be a fly on that wall because I don't think that's happening. She kick your ass. She'd have to deal with you this long. You stuck with her for life.
Yeah. Oh,
For
yeah.
sure,
We
for
we
sure.
there ain't no divorce here. But if it did happen, we would still have to work together.
Because she's the right hand woman.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
it can
100%.
work.
That's what
Yeah.
I said to Jeff yesterday about most husband wives in a shop. The difference I see with you and Susie, and again, this is what little I do know of you guys, is how much respect you have for her, and vice versa. It's like when you have that, you guys seem like, I don't know, you guys seem like best friends.
Well,
Y'all
we
just
are.
We've been
We
together
don't have
forever.
we don't have friends outside of. I mean, we do have friends, but we don't really go do things separately very much. I might now. She hates hunting, and when I'm in a hunting spell, I hadn't been in the past 4 or 5 years, but if I'm going hunting very much, she will not go hunting with me. But I cannot go fishing without her. She loves fishing. Any of our hobbies, we do those together. We go on trips together, all that stuff. We do it together.
So how do you keep the bad stuff from the shop Well, you're at home because you're in the shop. You live in the shop. But like, do you cut it off? Do you know when to clock out? Because I can't imagine that you're the guy that knows how to clock out.
We never clock out. We can be on a cruise ship. Me and her, the most romantic time, and we're gonna bring up this. We're gonna start talking shop. It's really hard for us to let it go because we both talk about it, and we don't set limitations because we both enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's
We're
awesome.
But
we,
even
we're both
yeah,
set on world domination, so it's never off limits. The shop, talking about the shop, is never off limits.
I was
world
gonna say, when you both
domination.
have the same goal and you're working towards the same goal, that must be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's really easy for us to get along because we both have the same goals.
But when you do, I know you do. You can't tell me that you don't. I know you're Superman. But when you do get burnt out, or is that what the lake is for?
Yeah, yeah, we'll go fishing, get on the boats, ride around. We used to go to the Keys. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
know me back then, and that's kind of how going to the Keys is kind of what put me where I am. I use that to inspire myself. And how that worked, my dad went to work for a guy. He owns a bank and owns half of the town I'm in now. He's a big time guy. Well,
Right.
he owns a lot of property, right? And he's got like a hunting camp at this property, and it's like thousands of acres. So at the time, my dad didn't have much going, and this guy needed somebody to come run that place for him. They hire somebody to live there and see after this place. So my mom and dad happened up on this job. It paid really well, great job, and I think it was the Lord looking out for them because they needed that because they got that job in 2013, and my dad died of cancer in 2016.
Mm.
So in those 3 years, they paid off all their debts, built up some cash, which they had never had their whole life, and all this. But let me get back to. I'm bad about getting off on these tangents,
We like the tangents.
but my dad was working for this guy, and they got to be really good, really close. And he told my dad, he said, "You need to." He said, "I've got a house in the Florida Keys. You need to go down there and take you a vacation." And so my dad was telling me about it. I said, "You tell him you won't go unless you can take your son with you." I said, "I want to go bad." So he said, "Okay." So we got the deal done. In 2014, we all took a family vacation. My dad, my mom, and me and Susie and my two kids, we all went to the Florida Keys to this house. And it was in Alamorada, which, if you know anything about the Florida Keys, it's it's just past Key Largo. It's probably 80 miles from Key West. You know, Key
All
West
right.
is the last one, so it's 80 miles up the chain of keys. So we go to this house and stay, and I fell in love with the place. I said, "This is the greatest thing. I don't know how I'm ever going to get back down here, but I'm coming back next year. I'm coming back." So we spent our vacation there, had a good time. I came back home and I went to work, but it didn't really gel like I wanted it to. I was still struggling at that time. I was
Right.
really struggling. So we went in August, which is about it where my birthday is. So I told Susie, I said, "We're going to go back next August." So I worked around there, and it got to be probably middle of July. I'm gonna say somewhere in there. No, we probably had more time than that. It's probably mid June.
Mm.
I walked in the office. I said, "Hey, what about going to the Keys down there like we talked about?" She said, "There ain't no way." She said, "We don't have the money. There ain't no way we can do it." I said, "Well, how much we got to have?" She said, "No need even thinking about it because there ain't no way. It's not possible." I said, "You figure me a number. You give me a number, and I'm fixing to do it or die trying. I'm fixing to do it. I got to go back. I'm going back this time. I'm going back." So I walked out of the office, spent about 2 hours. I came back, and she had the number. I don't even remember what it was. It was now it seems laughable. It's so small, but I think it was $15,000 that we had to have in the account plus pay all our bills. And at that time, it seemed like it was just
A
no way.
billion.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it might as well have been. I said, all right, I'm just go do it. So I went back out in the shop and I started working. And I worked 7 days a week. I worked 16 hours a day, just however hard I could work. And it came time, it was about 2 weeks before time to leave, and I had double that amount in my account. And I never had that much money in my account ever. So we went and we had, I'm telling you, that was probably, as many times we've been, that was probably the best trip we ever had. We had so much fun. We did everything. We didn't have to worry about money. We didn't have to worry about the shop because all the bills were paid and we had plenty of money when we got home, so we didn't have to worry about it. And we had the best time. So when I got home from that trip, it was the same deal. It was like, okay, I got to do it again. So that's kind of how I would set my ruler. If I had enough to go and then enough to go the next time, then that meant I could go. So I always had enough for 2 trips, saved up all the time. So after we started doing it that way, it just started compounding and things got really good, really good, really good, better. So we added on the shop in 2016. We looked at that like it was going to be another expense, but it turned out I added on to the shop. My shop was 4,000 feet when I started.
Mm-hmm.
And so I added 5,000 feet to it. And my production more than doubled just adding on to the shop. So after that, man, it got easy. I had more money than I knew what to do with. I could pay my bills and still I could buy guns and trucks, whatever I wanted. So this rocked on until 2018. I think we went to Key West 6 times in 2018. So that's what I would do. I would have enough money. When I had enough money saved up to go twice, then I would go. So every time I'd done that, I would go. So it turned out I went 6 times in 2018. I said, so we got to find something different to do. So
Yeah.
I added on to the shop again. It went from 9,000 feet then. We went to 12,000 feet. And we bought a house on the lake, and it was just easy. We couldn't do anything wrong. So I came to a crossroads. It's the first time in my life I thought about just staying the same, not growing or anything. And I only thought about that for about a week. And there was
Like, nah.
there was a big chicken processing plant there in the city we were in. And when I opened my original business in 2005, I would go in there and do work. I would go in there. They would hire me to come in there and build things for this chicken plant. Because at that time, I did welding machine work too, on top of my automotive stuff. So when I was in there, I'm a daydreamer, right? So I would look around at this huge building, and I would look around at it, and I would daydream about, hey, if I had this for my shop, I would do this, and I would have some lifts over there. My toolbox would be over here. This break room over here, this would be where we'd eat our lunch. And I just thought about these things. So long about in it was early 21, this chicken plant had become empty again. It's a scam. It's constantly a business will move in, run up a bill, and then they'll go out. They get money out of the government. So at this time that building was empty. And I just happened to drive by it one day. I hadn't thought about it in a while, and I drove by it, and it hit me. I said, I'm going to buy that building right there. I'm going to buy it. So I texted my banker. I said, hey, I want to buy that chicken plant. He said, all right, let's do it. So we set in to try, and me and him both, and we tried for probably a year. I tried everything. I even went to the Arkansas state capitol and met with the people in charge of it. They put me out of the meeting. They wouldn't talk to me.
They put you out.
They put me out the meeting because I went in there. My state representative, I know it, pretty good. So I called him finally. I said, hey, I want this building. He said, I can get that building for you. I said, okay. He said, I'll call you back. So 2 days later, he called me. He said, we got a meeting at the state capitol. He said, the state is in control of that building. He said, but I'm a state representative. I tell them what to do. We fixing to get you that building. Man, I'm telling you, I was so excited. I couldn't even sleep. I said, I'm fixing to get the building finally. So we
Did
get
you
there.
wear a suit? Did you wear
No,
a suit?
I didn't wear a suit, but I did dress up nice. I wore a button-down shirt, cowboy boots. I
Okay.
was dressed up. So anyway, we go to the meeting. We go in there, and these old big fat guys come in there. You know, if you watch wrestling,
Yeah.
you know Paul Bear. You know what Paul Bear looks like?
These people did not look like that.
The Undertaker's daddy. There's a bunch of them. They
Yes.
look like that. Big old fat guys. They all sitting around this big long table, man. This long table. And that state representative, he told me, he said, you just let me do the talking. I said, all right. So we sit down there, and he tells them guys, he said, this boy right here has been in business in Warren and Bradley County, been around there his whole life, been in business at that time, I guess it was 18 years. Said he's here to stay. These chicken plants have done beat us out of all this money. And he wants to buy that building and put his business in there. Said he's got the bank backing him, everything. We just need it done. Some old guys, one of them reared back his chair. He said it'd take $2 million to buy that building. And I couldn't hold back no longer. I said, I have you a check here as quick as I can go to Warren and bring it back. I got the money. So he wasn't expecting that. He said, well, the only problem with that, he said, is that guy that's in charge of it, he'll file bankruptcy if he finds out we're trying to sell it. He said, that'll take 18 months. I said, I can do that. That's fine. I said, but I got a better idea than that. I said, let's just call him right now and make a deal. I said, I'm a deal maker. I make deals every day. I said, every job that I do, I have to make a deal. I said, let's dial him up and I'll make a deal with him. We'll get this handled right now. No, you don't understand. He's an unreasonable man. I said, I deal with unreasonable people every day. That's my job. That's what I do. That's how I got to where I am.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So they all looked at their watches. They said, we got to be at a meeting over here in this building. Yeah. And that other one said, yeah, I got to be over here. And they said, we'll meet again in 30 days. So they looked at the state representative. They said, you stay back. We got to talk to you about something else, unrelated matters. So what they did, they put me out the meeting, right? So I go out in the hall. I know about what's going to happen. So keep in mind, this building had been in default. They hadn't even made the first payment on it. It was a government-backed loan. A bank loaned the money on it, but the state backs the loan, right? So if the guy don't make the payments, the taxpayers make the payments. So at that time, I think it was 200 something days.
Jeez.
No
Just
payment.
sitting there empty.
No payments have been made. Nope, nothing has been made on it. So those state representative, he comes bouncing out of the meeting. He comes over, man, I got some bad news. I said, well, let's hear it. I already know. He said, but it's some good news too. I said, okay, what's the news? He said, man, they got another chicken plant going to buy that building. Going to come in and write them a check for $5 million to next week for that building. I said, okay. I said, what's the good news? He said, well, the good news is they want to make you the same deal. You can go build you a new building, and they'll give you a loan just like what he's got. I said, oh, really? Just like what he's got? Yeah, just like what he's got. I said, just like what he's got? He said, yeah. I said, well, so that means I can go 200 and something days without making no damn payments on it? They don't say no. No, it ain't like that. I said, well, you said just like.
You said it.
Yeah. So anyway, that deal fit. He said, I tell you what, we got some land back there in the industrial park. The city will give it to you if you'll build a new building back here. And it was behind that building I've been looking at. I said, okay, I don't see where's I got no option. So it went on, typical politician. I called him. He said, you can move your dozer in there tomorrow. That's what he told me to me. You can move your dozer in there tomorrow. So next day I called him. I said, all right, I want that land. I said, I'm fixing to load my dozer up and carry it over. No. Now that was just a figure of speech, you know. I'll have it for you in about a week. So it went on a week, 30 days, 60 days. I said, look, I'm fixing to build something. My banker done told me, he said, you build you a new building. Forget that damn chicken plant. We'll build you a new building. Whatever you got to have, we'll do it. So the politician never came through with the land, none of that. So I ended up over here at Monticello and the city I'm in now. And
Mm-hmm.
I met with them, and in 30 minutes, I had my 10 acres that I got now. They sold me the land, and we started breaking ground right then.
So you
That's how
actually
that
got
deal.
a better situation.
Oh yeah, it was the Lord looking out for me again.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
been sick if I'd have built that building over there at that other town. Because I got
Yeah.
my old building over there I can't sell. It's still just sitting there. I still got it.
Oh wow.
You don't want to make a quick loop, a little quick loop spot out of it.
No, it ain't. I don't know what's going to happen to it, but it's too big for a quick lube. It's 12,000. It's 12,000 feet. My old building.
I mean, that's a lot of oil changes. It's
What
a lot
size
of
is
oil
your
changes
current
and a lot
space?
of free diagnostics.
That's right.
60,000 square feet.
What size is your space now? I saw your video, your
It's,
tour.
it's 62,000 square feet,
Wow.
I
and
know,
that's
right?
how. I guess I told that whole big long story. Um, that's how the concept of this building came about because
Chicken plant.
I had studied so long on that chicken plant that I already knew what I wanted it to look like. And this building is better because I was able to make all the changes that the chicken plant needed. I can make them here and
Yeah.
build it the way I want it to.
So when you have your vision, do you put it in front of you? Like, is it on a wall or is it just all up here?
Most of it's in here. There's a lot of it's on my phone. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
many I don't know how many pictures of that chicken plant is in my phone with my logo pasted on the side of it.
That's
Because
awesome.
that's something I'm big in. I'm big into visualization. If you want
Visualization,
something,
yeah.
you visualize it. You study on it. You meditate on it. You imagine yourself in that position that you want to be. You think about what it would be like all the time, and
Yep.
that's what I did. I imagined myself walking around in there and working in there. I visualized it for so many years.
And I know I talk about my dad a lot, and I will. It's my daddy. But the house that my father is in now, he spent his birthday in it this year. It's done. He's had the plans for that house on the wall since the early 90s. And I
Wow.
call it a McMansion. I'm not sure about the square footage. It's 14 acres. I think I might be wrong. It might be too small of a number. It's at least 10,000 square feet, 3 feet elevator, all the things that he wants. And he always visualizes it. And that's when I tell you, you remind me so much of my father, how you just a go getter. Now, I've always been on the fence about my truck. Everybody knows I have the truck now. I've kept that under wraps for a while because I get tired of people talking about it. So
Let
Zeb
them talk.
said something. He said if you on the podcast, if you want to be a baller, you have to do baller shit first. Even if you don't have the money.
That's right.
If
You
you
got to
do
do
the
it.
baller shit, do you have to go do the work to be the baller? And I don't know exactly how smoothly you put it, but when you said that, I was like, let me go get my damn
Yeah,
truck.
but you just said it earlier too about writing checks that you knew you couldn't cash that day, but you was gonna make it. You were gonna make sure that they
He
would
was gonna make
cash,
it happen. Like
Yep.
when you went and told Susan how much we need. Let's go get double.
and then you
But
doubled
I
it.
think a lot of people you doubled it. People just don't have that vision. You know, they want to live day to day, no big dreams. Dream big.
I
Like dream big. I
agree.
don't care how crazy it sounds to anybody else. Just flip and do it. And if
Man,
you mess it up, just don't do it that way again. Just
that's
like
right.
don't do it that way, but still keep doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think part of it is like I mentioned, like how other people don't drink big enough for themselves, so then they project that onto other people. So like that's been my person. You know that, Tanika. My
Yeah.
personal experience is I am a big dreamer, and I have a lot of people, or I had a lot of people in my life that would tell me to dream smaller, and I don't roll that way. I was gonna say I feel like there's people. I feel this is true for myself that like you mentioned you were 10 years old and you knew you were going to be successful. You knew you were going to be famous. And I feel like you either have that or you don't. And I've talked to people about that, and I'm like so shocked when I meet people that don't have that because I'm like, no, I know that I am destined to be successful. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that everything that I'm doing every day is putting me on that like keeping me on that path towards that. And you either have that or you don't.
Yeah. But then when you get in the dumps, okay, so for example, you were talking about you didn't, Susan said you didn't have the money to go. You get in the dumps and whatever. Most people would quit. What do you tell the people that want to quit? And I think Josh calls it in the dip when things get
Well,
hard. They're
It's
ready to
tough.
throw it in when it gets hard and it's starting to hurt, when they want to quit. Because what I hear a lot of is people are complaining, but they're not doing any work. Oh, the shop's slow and we're not making any money, but you're open from 8 to 5, but you only flipping work from 8 to 5. Like, no, you should have been there from 6 to 9 or
Mhm.
whatever. Like, people are not putting the work in, but then they're ready to quit instead of just putting the vision in front of themselves, making themselves big, crazy goals, and just doing it. So, what do you tell those people? I want a Zeb version of what you tell the guy that's ready to quit before it's time.
Well, what you got to do, you got to do what you can do. It don't matter how small it is. You go, and my good friend Brian Pollock says it best. You find a way to win. It don't matter what it is. If you go out in the shop and you need $20,000 by the end of the day, and you ain't got but $500 job sitting there, you go do that $500 job. You go do it the best you can, and before you get through, there's going to be another. There might be a $10 job walking. You do that $10 job. You do all that you can possibly do, as hard as you can do it, as long as you can do it, till you
I
can't
think
go
people
no
quit
more.
too easy. They quit too
Yeah, you
easy.
quit too easy. And I ain't gonna lie, I want to quit all the time. I used to walk into my shop there. It was probably from about 2011, probably even before that, up until about 2013 is when I started breaking out. I would walk in my shop every morning before anybody got there. It'd still be dark outside. I'd walk in my shop and I'd lay flat on the floor, on my face, on the dirty floor, and beg the Lord to figure out a way to get me out of it. Because I didn't want to
Amen.
admit to the world that I made a mistake taking that shot. Because everybody told me you'll never do what you're wanting to do in Warren, Arkansas. There ain't no way it'll work. It's too much money. All this stuff. So I didn't want to admit it to the world, but I admit it to the Lord. Hey, I messed up. I need out of here. And he acted like he didn't hear me. Nothing. Crickets. So I'd get up off my face. Every morning I'd get up off my face and I'd say, all right, I'm gonna do what I can do. And I'd pick me a truck out that I need to fix, and I'd go fix it. Then I'd get me another one. And then I'd get me another one. I'd get me another one, and it always worked out.
It
And
does
that's
always work out.
and that's when it started. That's when it started building. When I quit being sorry for myself and
Mhm.
trying to find a way out, that's when it started coming around.
Do you have a village that you call when you feel like you need to lay on the floor, fat on your face still? Like,
I do now. I didn't then. I didn't have anybody then. We don't. Now I got the internet. Now we got internet and Facebook. I've
yeah,
got some really close friends. If I get in a bind, I can talk to Chris Huggins. You see him around. You commented. You and him was
yeah,
commenting back and forth.
yeah.
He's one
He'll
of my
mess with my
closest friends.
sis.
I can count on Chris with my deepest, darkest secrets and problems. I can lay them on him. Chris Gainey is another one. In those days, probably in about 2013, I met another guy. He died last year, but
Mm,
he owned a shop not too far from here, and he was my confidant back then. In those days, he died of cancer about a year ago. But
mm.
me and him talked about some heavy stuff. We knew each other's secrets, but most of it I just had to deal with it myself because I didn't tell Susie because I didn't want her. I didn't want to worry her, you know,
Right.
because she's bless her heart. She's very good, but she's not a big thinker like me. She gets nervous. All these big ideas and dreams that I come up with, she gets nervous. She's probably the most sensible of the two. And so I didn't want to go to her with any of my problems because I didn't want her. I didn't want
Worrying.
her worrying, and it was a pride thing. I didn't want to admit to her that I thought I had made a mistake. So
Right.
I would just go to the Lord with it. He's the only one. He's the only one I would go to it with.
Yeah. So if someone like hits you up on the inbox and you don't know them and they are asking you for advice, you're open to that?
Oh yeah, I do it every day.
Yeah.
My inbox is
That's
full of
good.
people that I talk to that I've maybe met once or twice, or some of them have just seen me on a podcast or something, or they
Right.
follow me and they see how I am, and I'm an open book on that. Like I was saying earlier, I'm mean. I'm a
You're not
smart
mean.
ass and all
We love
that,
it.
if somebody comes at me the right way with that kind of thing, I love it. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Right.
I'll give them numbers. I'll tell them, hey, let's look at these numbers. Let's do this, do this, do this, and we'll get you where you need to be.
I love it.
I like that kind of stuff. I enjoy it.
Have you had people like try to influence you to niche down? Because I know you do a lot of projects and kind of anything you're able to do, right?
What's that now?
Like, have you ever thought about, I'm only going to work on this? Like, people say, no, you should narrow what you're working on because you're just going to, if
Oh
it got wheels and an engine, you're working on it, right?
no, because I get bored really easy. I get bored fast, and that was the thing. Before I had my own business, I would job hop. I've had I don't know how many jobs because I'll do something for a couple of months and I've mastered it or I'm bored with it. I'm ready to do something else. So when I started this is the only job I can't quit. I can't quit and go do something else. So that's why I do so many things here is to keep myself from getting bored. That's why I got on that road grader today. That's why I have it is to so I have something different, you know.
Did you go to any kind of technical school or anything, Zeb?
No, I've been to I've been to some training. Like when I worked at a dealership for a little bit, and I went to some Chrysler training, but it really didn't do much. The biggest training that helped me though is probably in 2007. I would say I got on the Snap-on truck, and there was a flyer up there, and me and my Snap-on man are real close. He's that's another guy that's helped me tremendously. I probably wouldn't even be in business without him.
Mm.
He would whatever I needed, he would just let me have it. We'll figure out how to pay for it later. Just get it.
Mm.
So anyway, I get on the Snap-on truck and there's a flyer for a class that's coming around. I said, hey, what about this class here? And he said, yeah, it's a guy. We used to bring him in a lot. He hadn't been here in a few years, but you should go. And it was about lab scope training. At that time, I didn't even know what a lab scope was. And I said, all right, yeah, I'll be there. So I go to this class, and his name's Kevin Markle, Pro Auto Tech, and he's probably the best mentor that I ever had. So I went to this class, and instantly I was enamored with it. He was the smartest person I'd ever met.
Mm.
And so I told him in that class, I stood up, I said, I don't really know any of this stuff that you're teaching. I said, but my goal is to learn everything that you know. I want you to teach it to me. So the next class, he came around every 6 months. So we didn't have iPhones and stuff like that at that time. So I went to Walmart and I bought one of those voice recorders. It was a little thing about that long, about like a Snickers candy bar. You could push
Yeah.
a button on it, it would record, right? So I would just get that thing and I would lay it on the table during the class. And then I would go home and I'd listen to that class over and over again till I learned lab scope and all the electrical testing that he taught and everything. And that's that's probably the biggest mentor I had. But Kevin's a good coach or teacher as far as like business stuff too. So
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to him on business advice, any of that kind of stuff. And we're best friends now. I mean, we talk all the time. I went to his wedding in Belize when he got married. I went all the
Nice.
way to Belize to his wedding, and
Oh, cool.
that's probably one of the best mentors I've had over my lifetime.
Well, do
And
you
that's
think the teaching, the technical training that you went through, do you think that's the technician's responsibility, or they just have to wait for the shop to take them? Like, I
it,
really believe in the training, whatever's available.
it's
Trying to work
both.
that
It's
out.
actually both. You have to have the desire within yourself to do it. Like if you're a
Mm.
technician, you have to have the hunger to learn yourself, whether the shop sends you or not. You have to have that hunger yourself. Because I've sent guys and taken them to training and all that, and it doesn't really until you get one that's hungry for that knowledge. It's not going to do any good. You can send them to all the training you want, but if they're not hungry for it, it's not. It's a waste of money.
Right.
They might pick up a few things,
Mm-hmm.
but if they're hungry enough for it, they'll do it even by themselves if they don't have to, if they have to pay for it themselves.
Yeah, because it's a
I
tool that
still
they
do
can
it.
take with
I
them.
still do it. I'll go up there and and I put on YouTube and study there while I'm eating supper. I still do it. Or when I'm getting after I get my shower at night, I'll lay down in the bed. I'll put on YouTube and study something. As long as I've been in it, I'm still hungry for that knowledge, and
Right.
that's how it has to be. If you're not like that, you'll be good, but you won't ever be the best.
It's up to you because if you don't do your own training or invest in yourself, like why would you want somebody else to be responsible for your own mental toolbox?
Right.
Right. So that's why I'm always listening to YouTube for coaching calls and whatever, just anything that's out there. But it amazes me, not necessarily like business coach that you really despise. You hated that situation, but training opportunities for, as far as a business owner, you can listen to a podcast and pick up a little thing here or there. But it just amazes me how many people just do not do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm amazed by that too, because that's all I do all day. I have my earbuds in and I've got a podcast on. I'm learning something.
Right.
It's either about it's an automotive podcast, or I like fishing. I'm listening to fishing podcasts. I'm always in a state of learning, and I think to be the best at what you do, that's where you have to be.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to train my son at that. He's not very good at it because when 5 o'clock when he walks out of
He's
this
out the
shop,
door.
it's over. Ain't no more strokers. He's not worried about it. He goes and does his own thing, and I've tried to teach him, hey son, you got to find that hunger. That's how you're gonna fill these shoes. You're gonna have to get hungry for it. And I haven't
Is
got
he
it.
going to be able to fill your shoes?
I don't know. We're gonna see.
Does he want to?
He wants to,
Okay.
but he's still got a ways to go. He
How old
hadn't.
is he?
He's 22, 22. He still don't have that spark yet, and I think it's gonna hit him. He's a newlywed too. He's got a new wife, so he's dealing with that.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to find his own way, but I'm hoping to light that spark in him somehow.
How much longer do you think you can keep doing this?
I'll do it. I'll fall over dead right here in this shop. I won't ever quit.
So you're not retiring to the Key West big
Nah,
mansion?
nah, it ain't
No,
gonna happen. It ain't gonna
that's
happen.
not you.
It seems like a good idea. You think you want it, and it would probably be okay for about a week, and then about a weekend, I'd be like, I got to go
I
back
need
to work.
something. I
I
gotta
got
go
to
to
go
work.
back to work. I got to go get a wrench in my hand. I got to go have a problem that needs solving. I got to go get on a road grader. I got to go get on a bulldozer. I got to do something. And I've tried it. I've tried it so many times. I've been like, I go in there. I say, all right, this weekend I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna sit on the couch and rest
Uh-huh.
all weekend, and that lasts for about an hour. I did it this morning. I got up this morning. It's snow on the ground. I came out in the shop and I walked around. I had some stuff to do, but nothing really seemed like something I want to do. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back in there. I'm tired. I'm gonna go in there and rest. I went back in there, got on the couch, turned YouTube on, start watching some fishing shows on YouTube. I made it 15 minutes. I turned it off. Susie said, where are you going? I said, I'm going back to work. I can't do it. Went back to work.
So
I get a lot
all
of
the
good work done when I'm like my husband and I will watch a lot of like just normal stuff on YouTube, but like a lot of the Diesel guys on YouTube, Diesel Brothers and Diesel whoever whistling Diesel and stuff. But I can't sit there and just like watch it for a long period of time. But if it's in the background, all like I could get my best work done then.
Yeah,
Like my
yeah.
husband and I
I
when
need
we
some
first
noise when
met,
I'm working.
he used
you
to
need some
kind of
noise.
make fun of me and tease me. Like we were early into dating, and it's like a Friday night. We ordered pizza. We're about to stay in and hang out. And I've got like fuel trim diagnostic videos on YouTube. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Learning." I'm just like obsessed with hard problems that people are trying to solve. I love when technicians are filming hard hard diagnostics and throwing them online. Like, please let me watch.
That ain't
All I
you,
watch is
Snake.
murder mysteries. Nope. Give me 24/7 Dateline. I want to know who killed him and why they killed him and where's the body.
I'm a good
That
mix
makes me
of it
happy.
all. I like
I
that
mean,
too.
that's what I listen to when I'm not listening to anything automotive
Mm.
as far as learning the business and all of that good stuff. But I know how to cut it off now because I've been doing it quite a while. So 30 years, and I'm a little over it. But I don't think I will ever be an absentee shop owner. I don't
No,
work as much as I used to
I
anymore,
don't have
but
no,
I don't think I can do that.
I don't have no desire to do it, and that's
I
why
might.
a lot of people ask me, say, what about multiple locations? That's just not me because I have
Yeah.
to have my hands in it all the time. So I'm gonna be one mega location's all I'm gonna be.
I'm curious, how many employees do you have?
Six or six of us total, including myself.
Okay.
And the way that I run it, that's the way we're able to have this big a building with those few employees, is because Susie runs the whole front of it. She runs the parts, the bookkeeping, she's a service advisor. She does all the customer facing stuff. She talks to the customers. That took a while to do, but now the customers ask for her. They don't even ask for me anymore. Every once in a while, I have to come in and do my thing, but it's rare.
Nobody wants to see Zeb do his thing at the front office.
Right. So
Yeah,
then
exactly.
after she handles that, then it comes to me. And well, actually, it goes to the DVI guy. We got a guy that does nothing but DVIs. That's all he does. So it goes to the DVI guy, and he does his thing. Then I'm the diagnostic guy. So I look at the DVI, and then I do the diagnostics on it and figure out what it needs, how it needs it, and kind of get the logistics of the repair line. I figure all that out. Then Susie estimates it, sells the job. Then it goes to, I got two technicians. I really only have two technicians. And one of them's my son, and then another one, his name's Kyle Seibert. He's been with me since 2019. And it goes to them, and they do all the nuts and bolts. Say I figured out that it needs an engine, or it needs a cylinder head, or it needs a timing belt, whatever it needs. It's parked in a bay waiting on them. Most of the time, I'll have it racked up where if they need to pick it up with a lift or whatever, it's already there waiting. All they got to do is hit the button and pick it up. So all they do is nuts and bolts. They do that. Now they're both coming along. They're doing a little bit of diagnostics now, but their main job now is just, for the most part, is just the nuts and bolts. When they get through the nuts and bolts, then it comes back to me, and then I go drive it. And that's my specialty. I make sure I go drive it, and I make sure everything's right. No lights, no vibrations, no misfires, none of that. And that's my favorite thing because I'm,
Quality control.
yep, I'm very in tune with the vehicle. If I drive one, I can tell you if it's right or not. That's my thing. So I'll never let that job go to anybody else. That'll always be my job. So then I go drive it, make sure it's good, and then it goes back to the customer. But those two technicians, that's the reason. That's how they turn. When we got everything lined up, they can turn. They've turned almost 200 hours. Um, their records are like 100. I think one of them's 178, and one of them's 160 something hours in a week.
Wow.
But they don't have to do anything but just the repair. They don't have to test drive. They don't have to do anything. They just straight work. If they run into a problem, say they break a bolt off, something like that, they mess with it for a minute and then they move to the next one. So each technician has about 10 bays. I'm the one that
Okay.
gets the broke bolts out. So they, or whatever problem they have, then it's handed back to me. So all they doing is straight turning hours. That's all they do, hard as they can go. And that's how we do it with so few people. That's how we run this bigger place with so few people.
You
Amazing.
got it dialed in. Good processes.
Yeah, I don't let them
Okay.
struggle. They don't struggle with anything. I can look at them and tell if they beat their head against the wall for an hour or so. I say, hey, go get you another one. I got this.
Yeah, let's not slow down production.
Yeah, you
Wow.
don't worry about this. You go do something else.
That's what's up.
It's incredible.
That's crazy. Like the size of the shop, the organization.
That's 10,000 square feet a person.
That is a lot of room. But
I
it's
don't know what
big
I would
buses and
do.
stuff. The electric slide.
Well, not all
That's a
of
whole
it. the two rows that Kyle and Zachary work in, they just regular cars go in there. I let them work on some of the bigger stuff now, but that used to be all mine. I would do all the big stuff, and they did all the cars and the pickups. I'm letting them now. They're getting where they can work on the big trucks and stuff like that. So
you're giving up a little bit of
I'm
control.
giving up a little bit. I still ain't giving up the QC though. I can't trust nobody with the QC.
All right, I want to end on this one question.
All right.
You've got a lot going on. You've got a lot to choose from. Your journey, what is the most proud you've been? Like, what part of your journey are you most proud of?
I'm gonna say the most proud. Yeah, I'm proud of my building and what I've accomplished here. But the most proud thing that I have is my son and Susie. How they have came up and are able to do what they do. Because I never saw this. I never thought that they would be able to do it. I said it's always going to be me. You know, it's going to be me the whole time. But over the past 2 years, I've seen that those two, they've picked it up. If I fall over before I walk out that door right there and go back up to the kitchen, they'll be all right. They can run it without me. I don't want them to have to, but they can. Right. They'll make it without me. And Kyle, I got it. He's not in relation to me, but he's like a son to me. He can. Mm-hmm. Those three together, they can do it without me. It'd be tough. It ain't gonna be easy, but they'll be fine. And that's probably what I'm most proud of. I was able to build something that they could run with without me here.
I love that answer. Oh. Well, we've been talking for an hour. This was good. I'm excited. Yeah, it's been an hour.
I hope it was good. I hope I didn't take up too much.
I mean, I hope it was good too, because this is the first time that I'm doing it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just talking.
What's the name of the show going to be?
The Downshift.
The Downshift.
The Downshift with Tanika, because I really believe that right now in the industry, people don't understand that even though you guys are on this big platform, everybody's on Facebook and the tickety talk and everything, and they get to see the highlights of your life, and they don't understand that you had to bust your ass for so long. They see just the easy parts that you're doing. They see you through your meta glasses. They don't see that you laid on the floor and prayed to God to please bless me. So those are the things that I want to kind of highlight with my podcast. Just the warm and gentle side of the industry, and how we sometimes need to slow down, check ourselves before we speed back up, and not to quit. I mean, I think a lot of people just need to slow down and not quit and ask for help. So, and then we get to have fun and talk to the people that I know and love in the industry. I get to talk to my people. When will I see you again? Oh my goodness.
Well, I'll be at Tools. I'll be at Tools.
I think I might go to
Vision. I'll be at Vision.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'll be able to go to Vision because Jordan's moving to Florida. It's on the calendar, but he's moving to Florida, and so I'm trying to figure that out because he starts class on May 9th.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to go to Vision because I've never been before. So I'm excited about that. But I definitely
it's
go
pretty good.
It's again.
It's bigger than ASTA, but man, I'm gonna tell you, ASTA is special. There's something about ASTA that they ain't nobody.
I think it's like because we're Southern, we're sweet, and
ain't
it's just like all the networking.
Yep, ain't nobody.
It's like being in somebody's living room or a big cookout and you're learning stuff.
Yeah, it's got something special. Ain't nobody else got. Ain't nobody
else going to be most special this year. This year is going to be even better. And
well, I was told that for a long time. I heard that for a long time, and then I went. I guess 2024 was my first year, and after that, I said that's going to be the one. I'll forsake all of them to go to that one. If I can only choose one, that's the one I'm choosing right there.
That sounds like a perfect advertisement.
If I got to walk or ride a bicycle, I'm coming to ASTA somehow, some kind of way.
We're definitely going to make that a clip.
It's kind of like that trip to the Keys. I'm going to be there. Whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it.
You think you're going to fight Brian again?
I would. They're supposed to. I can't spill the beans, but whatever competition we have this year is going to be last year it was more suited towards him. This
Uh-huh.
year it's going to be beneficial to somebody of my stature.
Oh, okay. For the little people, for the regular size people.
Yeah. So instead of Sasquatches and gorilla bears.
Don't be talking about Brian like that. On that note, we're going to sign off. This was great, Zeb. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Anytime, man. I'm gonna tell you, and that's the problem. If you ever have me on a pod and I won't shut up, just tell me, hey, shut up. We're tired of hearing
No,
because that's myself is my favorite subject. I can talk
As
about
it should
myself
be.
hours.
I can talk about myself.
It should be your favorite
I just talk
subject.
about myself as long as you want. As long as you want to sit there and listen, I will.
Me too. It's quite
You're
all right with me.
fascinating. You're fascinating.
I am my favorite subject.